Hey, this is Chauncey Hutter again, and I'm in the business of helping tax professionals get more out of life, more success in their business. The next question that I'm answering today is, how do I stop the daily interruptions and time-sucking problems? Boy, is this a big one. There's all kinds of questions that come up during the day. There's all kinds of stress that happens during the day, and I believe this is, if you have this problem, you got to look in the mirror and say, this is my issue, I got to own it, I got to take responsibility for it. I'll start out by saying you got to communicate as often and as proactively as possible, and train the receptionist, train your tax preparers, train your return reviewers, train your partners, train whoever you're training in your office. You got to tell people how you want things to happen so you're not interrupted. And you actually have to carve out times during your day when you can be interrupted, and then other times where there's completely no interruptions. I mean, there's going to have to be, your office is on fire for them to knock on your door. And so there's times when you don't even look at email, you totally bundle your time. In the morning you might check email, in the middle of the day at lunch, you might check it at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. But you are not doing that all to totally interrupts you. The reason you have daily interruptions and the reason you have time getting sucked out is because you haven't defined the terms, and you are letting people email you, and since you respond, you're letting yourself be interrupted. If someone calls and you answer the phone, you're letting yourself be interrupted. If someone knocks on your door and you say they're allowed to come in, you are letting yourself be interrupted. So go ahead and train them in a different way. Train your staff in a different way. Train your clients in a different way. Not only do you bundle all routine questions, emails, faxes, whatever, in certain time slots during your day, but you have uninterrupted times as well to get work done. And some people, I mean, I can remember my dad back in the day, he would come in at 4 o'clock in the morning during tax season and get work done until 9 o'clock when it was quiet. And that's one way to do it. People do that. Some people stay late. And they stay after dinner and they work until 11, 12 o'clock at night because there's less people and there's less questions that come up and they're uninterrupted. That means to me you're letting people interrupt you during the day and you don't have to. If you're serious about protecting your time, if you're serious about not letting people have access to you, then you actually have to stay in a line. You probably need to fire some people. And when I started doing this years ago, I had people in my office that would not respect the fact that I said from 9 to 11, no interruptions. And I would get a knock on the door or whatever. And I put a sign, if you knock on this door, if you interrupt me, there are consequences. And so I actually had to fire somebody, and she was devastated. And I said, and I gave her 2 chances. I didn't give her 3. I said 2 chances, put it in writing, no interruptions, and they interrupted anyway because she didn't want to hurt the feelings or the expectations of the client. You got to be able to tell the client, no, you cannot interrupt him right now. You'll have to get back to you later. So I had to make a point regularly. Actually, I was making a point to the rest of the office, and I had to fire the person and get someone else to do it. And once you actually show people you're serious, I promise you, everybody else around the office will come in behind you. The last thing I'll say on this is, if you don't have a plan to protect your time, everyone else will have their plan to suck up your time. See, most people don't have a time management or a self-governance plan for their own time. And so when you don't have one, other people's getting in the way, time-sucking emails, calls, interruptions all happen. So you got to be proactive about this. It's a big deal, especially I know right now during tax season. If you enjoyed this short nugget of information on how to maximize your success in your tax business, you probably want access to about 20 more. I've recorded them on a variety of different topics. You can go to taxmarketing.com/free videos and get access to this information. Again, that website is www.taxmarketing.com/free videos. Thanks.